works as far as it for Brandon Ingram. Now, Zion is interesting here, certainly, just because he is injured right now. We don't know when he's coming back. For him to be on the court, that's how you can get the most value for him, either in a trade or with the Pelicans. Chiney, I've always circled, and we talked about it earlier in the week, Golden State would be certainly that team there for Zion here. And here's why. If you're looking for that next superstar that maybe has that upside, I think Williamson could be that guy if he's healthy. And when you look at it, what would New Orleans or Golden State have to go give out and trade? Andrew Wiggins certainly is that big trade number. And then you look at it certainly from a player like Brandon Podziemski, for example. And then we're going to put Kevon Looney in there. And that works there. So certainly Golden State, if you don't have to give up and you're looking for that potential all-star out there on a low risk there.
Wow, Bobby, that machine is hot because right now you're
we
saying
got a quarter of a tank of gas in that thing right now.
BI potentially to San Antonio, Zion potentially to Golden State. Shams, what do you see the Pelicans doing with this roster?
Their phone lines will be blowing up between now and February 6th because they've got so much talent on this team. You think about it, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy III, C.J. McCollum, DeJounte Murray, Yves Missi. They've got so many bodies there that I think other teams look at that could help them. But it starts with Brandon Ingram because he's in the last year of his deal. Anytime a player is in that circumstance, either you're looking at a trade or an extension. And for Ingram, getting back on the floor is going to be big. He's rehabbing a significant ankle sprain right now. So getting him back on the court, seeing what his value is going to be. But I'm told they've gotten an uptick of calls in recent days on Ingram, on other players on their roster. Herb Jones is another guy that has gotten a ton of calls with the Pelicans, but they don't have an interest in moving him as of right now. So this is a Pelicans team to keep an eye on, and it really is going to start with Brandon Ingram. They are not in a position where they can just stand pat. I expect the Pelicans to make some sort of move.
Again, 2 days, players available. It's going to get very spicy very quickly.
Welcome back. Today, we're diving into a potential blockbuster trade involving Zion Williamson and the Golden State Warriors. Will a move to Golden State be the defining factor that finally unlocks his full potential while also helping the Warriors keep their iron grip on the rest of the league? In this video, we will analyze this rumor and consider how Zion is much more suited to the Warriors and also take a closer look at the increasingly beleaguered team at this time of the season. Let's jump right in and take perspective with the clip that provides essential context for the discussion here. The rumors surrounding Zion Williamson and the Golden State Warriors are gaining momentum, and the reasons behind this potential blockbuster move are compelling. Zion finds himself under the New Orleans Pelicans organization's very interesting place. In terms of talent, he is enormous, and yet time and again, he's being limited by his injuries. The former first overall pick has demonstrated that rare combination of size, power, and agility and becomes one of the most dynamic players in the NBA when healthy. But the injury history always raises a question mark over his viability for both the Pelicans and any NBA team interested in bringing him on. The Pelicans are moving him in trade talks, and that opens the entry doors for the Warriors as a logical and fun destination. From Golden State, snagging Zion would be the high-risk, high-reward play that has characterized their business model over the years. These guys have always been known for making bold moves, understanding tombstones, but above all, striving for optimum effects by combining established veterans and rising stars. Now, if Zion were to come into their plans, the hallowed halls of the Warriors dynasty would welcome an unprecedented level of athleticism, power, and potential in that lineup. This team is known for gambles, otherwise, such a signing would not even be in line with that attitude. After all, their championship window is still wide open. However, executing such a trade wouldn't be without significant challenges. Players' names that are frequently mentioned as potential trade assets are Andrew Wiggins and Kevon Looney. Wiggins, who played an important role in the last couple of title runs, and provides scoring and defense as a premium trade piece. Looney, on the other hand, is a reliable presence in the paint, contributing with rebounding and defense. The above two are pretty valuable to the Warriors, as moving them would mean a clear step in betting on Zion's potential at the expense of some of their existing security. Yes, the budget would have to be accounted for as well because of the major huela left by the Papers signing over Zion, and the way the Warriors would have to balance salaries would have to be looked at. For the Pelicans, it is clear that there is a reason to consider exploring a Zion trade. This roster possesses lots of talent, anchored by young guns, including Brandon Ingram, Trey Murphy III, and Herb Jones. These players form the crux of what could be a bright future, but the Pelicans have not tasted the success that was forecasted with Zion in the draft. It will provide them a way out to balance their roster financially in case they completely clear up everything for Zion. Zion's injury history is still casting a shadow of uncertainty, and by getting rid of him, the Pelicans could get some assets and relief in order to better fit their core with a broader team. Then Zion would have stolen all of the Warriors' hearts, but staying with them will continue to keep his attractiveness going into difficulty for the Pelicans. The pure talent upside. When healthy, Zion is a game-changing talent. His height, strength, and explosiveness combined make him a nightmare for defenders. The ability to score easily in the paint, finish above the rim, and dominate around the basket is unrivaled by any man today in the NBA. However, durability is the major question mark, hence complicating his worth in any trade talks. Zion's injury troubles are quite well known, and so teams would have to balance the upside of talent against the downside of health. The Warriors, in particular, would need to weigh in on whether Zion can remain on the floor long enough to justify the investment. The Pelicans have been subject to numerous amounts of calls and inquiries about their players, but Brandon Ingram and Herb Jones have been getting the lion's share of the attention from other teams. This really sounds like New Orleans is aggressively looking at all options, with Zion commonly being mentioned in such hypothetical trades. Pelicans have a pretty complete team now, and Zion's future is paved with uncertainty, so they want to cash in on his worth now. You cannot go wrong with what you hear. The lines are ringing for New Orleans as teams reach out for various players. Zion's value is still quite high, and these conditions could allow for a chance for the Pelicans to turn their future around while they are at it. Should the Warriors manage to put the Zion piece into place, it could well prove to be a transformational deal for both franchises. For Golden State, it would add one more powerful weapon to an already potent arsenal and would indeed change the game for Warriors. The physicality, scoring, and soon to elevate much higher. A well-balanced roster could be built around young, strong assets like them, developing the next chapter of success for the Pelican. In any case, there are almost destined to be outcomes with this trade scenario that will strongly reverberate through both franchises.